Hi, how are you? I'm Terry Castleman, and I am here with Caitie Barker, Chef Caitie Barker, and we're at the Illinois State Fair, as you can see behind us. We are once again out here this year. We were here last year, Caitie, and you were going to do something that I love this year. You were going to do a tribute to the back of the garage tomato.
You grew a lot of stuff behind your garage, I know.
Yes,
rhubarb, tomatoes. Well, you know, I mean, it's summer in Illinois. What else do we have?
Yeah, and your aunt has 80 tomato plants.
80, yeah. I saw them the other day. Yeah. It was shocking. Yeah. For one person.
I know. Is her last name Del Monte? But anyway, you're going to do tomatoes today.
Today we're doing tomatoes.
Okay.
Okay. Right now there's a lot of variety of tomatoes that there never was before, which is a really cool thing.
Yes.
Now, maybe you've heard of them called heirloom tomatoes. You can get them at the market or places like that. And they're pretty much before there were standardized certain kinds of everything.
Early girl and all that.
Yeah,
that
like before
it.
there were just yellow bananas or red tomatoes. There are all different varieties of every kind of produce. And heirloom tomatoes are pretty much, they call them heirloom tomatoes because they're older varieties of tomatoes before there was a standard red tomato. So they're like yellow ones, they're green ones, they're red ones, they're pink ones, they're purple ones, whatever. Okay? I like them because they're pretty. Okay?
Yes. And tomatoes are indigenous to the Americas.
Yeah, there you go. So, okay. So we're gonna make a spaghetti squash with an heirloom tomato marinara.
Oh, wow.
Okay. We're making panzanella, which is like a bread salad.
And I love that.
I know, you're a fan.
Yeah, I'm a panzanella fan.
You panzanella like nobody's business. And then we're also doing a stuffed tomato, which is my personal favorite.
Okay.
So. Okay, all right. So I'm gonna start out making our marinara. And a lot of times when you see me make homemade marinara, I just use like the plum tomatoes that are canned. Those are great, but if you got fresh ones, why not use them? You know, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It always tastes fresher.
Okay, so I got an onion that I chopped up. You can use any kind of onion. I just got red because I had it laying around.
You know, red onions now are getting to be as cheap as the regular ones.
Yeah, they really are, yeah.
And they add so much more color.
I got some garlic here. Remember, you want to whack it? Back your knife, chop it up.
And that's that garlic that comes already pre-peeled.
Oh, yeah. Pre-peeled all the way.
Yeah.
I mean, who has time to peel garlic?
No.
I mean, geez.
Yeah.
Okay. Don't get the chopped up stuff, like the stuff that's pre-chopped up. That's not very good.
Okay.
It's okay if you leave this a little chunky.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't have to be super fine. Right here I got some Italian dressing. Instead of just olive oil, I like it just because, I don't know, it adds a little more flavor. You can just use olive oil if you want, but I mean, Italian dressing's pretty much olive oil with some stuff in it, so why not?
So why not?
Okay. So I'll put that in there. Get that sauteing. The only thing is, this does have some sugar content, so you don't want to get it going too far ahead of putting the vegetables in it.
Okay, because it would burn.
Yeah, because it'll burn on you. Caramelizing, good. Burning, not so much.
Good.
Okay. Okay. So I got some onion, we got some garlic. Let's throw some rosemary in there. Looks good.
Okay.
Okay, rosemary. Grab the top of the stem, 2 fingers, and pull down, and then it peels the leaves off the stem. Okay. You don't need a lot. You can just use an assortment of herbs. I don't really care. Whatever you want. You can put thyme in there. I'm putting a little basil.
Well, I think you have to put basil in.
Yeah, tomatoes and basil are just like. Okay. So we're just going to chop these up. Like I was telling Terry earlier, some people put the herbs in at the end of cooking so they stay green. But I like to put them in at the beginning, so they kind of flavor the sauce. And you can put some green in at the end, but as they cook, they get kind of brown. You know, and so people just want to avoid that, but I don't really care.
I always like to put fresh chopped basil on spaghetti stuff.
Yeah, and usually I put some on top. So.
Yeah.
Okay, now we need some tomatoes in there.
Okay.
And I'm just using whatever I got laying around. And I'm not a big fan of serrated knives, as you've heard me talk about before, but for tomatoes, I use them.
Okay, because that way it doesn't slip off the skin.
Yeah, it doesn't slip, doesn't bruise the tomato.
Okay.
And you want pretty big chunks. I like chunky tomato sauce. If you don't like chunky tomato sauce, put it in the blender. Okay? And you would just put the tomatoes in the blender.
Okay.
You wouldn't put all the sauce in there.
Right. I like it chunky myself.
I know, I like things chunky.
Yeah.
I'm chunky. I like chunky things. Okay? All right, and I'm probably going to use about 3 of these tomatoes. Terry, do you have any tomato plants this year?
Me?
Yeah.
Just 2.
Just 2, not 80?
Not 80, no.
And then, yeah, we're almost through tomato season.
Yes.
And she just tells me yesterday that she has all these tomatoes. I'm like, you could have been supplying me with tomatoes at the restaurant all summer. Oh, I didn't know you would need them.
Yeah.
Really? You didn't know?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Do one more tomato. Here's some of our more heirloom varieties.
Yes.
These are pear-shaped yellow ones. I like the green zebras.
Yo, those
They're
are
like
my
bright
favorite.
green when
Yeah.
they're ripe, and they've got these green stripes down them. They're really cool. Okay. Got a little tomato in there.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we're gonna put a little salt and pepper on it. Some people like a sweeter marinara if you just put a little brown sugar in it. You can use regular sugar too. I just like brown. A little more salt and pepper. Got a little red wine here that I found in Terry's car.
Strictly for medicinal purposes.
If you don't want to use red wine, that's cool, but you need some kind of liquid in there, so you can use like chicken broth or vegetable stock if you want to keep it
Yeah,
vegetarian.
but the alcohol burns out of it, so
It
you
does.
don't taste it.
Yep, so if you don't want alcohol, use chicken broth. If you don't want meat, use vegetable stock, okay? But
Okay.
I like the red wine, I just like the flavor of it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now we're going to get our panzanella going,
Okay.
okay? And what I like about this menu is it's pretty much a whole menu of tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're gonna make an appetizer with the stuffed tomatoes, we're gonna have a salad with the panzanella, and then we're gonna have an entree with our spaghetti squash. But they all take pretty much the same ingredients,
Okay.
even though they're
okay.
all different things. So you can have a dinner party and buy like 6 things, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so for our panzanella, gonna take some more of our tomatoes. Again, just cut them in big chunks. These big ones, I just like to cut kind of down the sides.
Yes.
Because they got kind of a harder core,
Uh-huh,
and they
yeah.
can just toss that. Okay? Terry, one of these days I'm going to put you cutting stuff up.
Yes.
Terry's grabbing me a bowl here. And this is one of those things where if you have a lot of variety of different colors of tomatoes, you want to use them. Because with the marinara, it's all going to cook down, you're not going to see the colors. But with the salad, you're really going to see them. You having trouble there?
Yes.
Don't worry about it, it's fine. We use them doubled up. Okay, so I'm gonna take a couple of our little yellow guys here. Okay. And if you want to spice up back to your marinara, a lot of times I'll put like a banana pepper or something in there,
Uh-huh.
and that's good too. Or if you wanted to make a vodka sauce,
Okay, then put some
you
vodka
would do
in
the
it.
same thing, except you would start it out with a little bacon and then
Oh.
put some vodka and cream in it.
Oh,
And then it's
okay.
vodka sauce.
Okay.
Okay, so there's some tomatoes. Gonna take
Another
some
use
more.
for vodka.
Another use for vodka. Never ending. I also found that in Terry's car. Cut the ends off of red onion, and we just want like big chunks of red onion in this.
Uh-huh.
These red onions are pretty sweet. They're not like really harsh,
Right.
you know, like yellow onions. I'll just use half of one. Take the peel off of it. Do you ever make panzanella at home?
Yes, I actually do.
What do you
Because
put
I
in
like
yours?
to eat it. And the one thing I like is that it's actually, it's better the next day.
It is. It is. It's like chili.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
but longer you leave it in
Uh-huh.
the fridge, better it is. All right, so we got some red onions, we got some tomatoes.
And
What
when
else
you
we
get to
got?
the bread part, you got to tell everybody about the bread part, because I'm really anal about that.
I know you are. Yeah. I got some fresh mozzarella. I'm cutting into chunks.
Uh-huh.
I like big chunks of mozzarella in mine, but you can cut them smaller if you want. And you can use any kind of cheese you want. But the fresh mozzarella has, I don't know, it has the right kind of texture. It's kind of spongy. It like
Yes.
absorbs the
Doesn't
dressing.
it absorb? don't
Yeah,
you
it really
think?
does. All right, let's see. We got some artichokes we'll put in there. And our salami.
Yes.
If you wanted to make this vegetarian, leave it out. But I like it.
Yes.
So I got some hard salami here that I'm going to roll up and I'm going to cut into strips. And that is called a chiffonade. Anytime you roll something up, cut it into strips, called a chiffonade. So
Yeah.
when you have people over, you can say, go chiffonade the salami for me, please. And And if they look at you like, what do you mean? You can make fun of them later.
Yeah.
Because you know what it means. Okay. All right. So Terry's got a bowl for me.
Yes.
Okay. Here's going to
get
take
them apart.
We're going to take all this stuff, throw it in the bowl.
Uh-huh.
And you can put anything in here you want. Like you could put green beans in here. Like if you had
Yes.
some fresh green beans, throw that in there. Panzanella is just mainly like tomato and bread. Anything else you want to throw in, throw it in. So here's some bread that I toasted in the oven. And you want a bread that's like, will cut your gums. It's pretty hard, okay? You want
yeah.
a day-old crusty bread. Cut it into chunks. I don't put anything on it. I don't put oil. I don't put anything. I just put it on a sheet pan, put it in the oven for 5 or 6 minutes till it's toasty.
Okay.
Okay, was that good enough description for you?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Not that air-blown stuff that they have at stores. It has to be real French bread or Italian bread.
Okay, and then you want about half and half tomatoes to croutons, and that seems like a lot, but as this sits, the croutons will kind of start to break down, and it'll look like more tomato.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and they'll
Okay.
soak up all the juice in the tomato. We still stir my marinara?
Yes.
Okay. Now, we need some basil in here, also chiffonaded.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. You can put garlic in there if you want. It's whatever.
Yes. I didn't hear Julia Child say that the other night. Well, the other night we went to see Julia the movie.
If you haven't seen it, go.
Go see it. It's really, really fabulous.
A little basil. Bing. You didn't hear Julia say chiffonade?
No, I did not. She said everything else, though.
Draining a little artichoke.
The woman had a mouth on her, didn't she?
She did have a mouth on her, which I respect in a lady. Okay. All right. So I got our artichokes. I use the little quartered marinated artichokes. Okay. Then a little salt and pepper. And some more of our Italian dressing here. You don't need a lot because the tomatoes are really going to dry a lot of juice out.
Yes. Okay.
All right. Get a little spoonie here. We're just going to toss this together. And this is just a really gorgeous salad.
And then,
Oh, I forgot our olive.
oh yeah, you got to put some
Olives
olives
also
in
go in
it.
here. These are Kalamata olives. And they are like Greek olives, if you've ever had Greek olives. Or what I think they taste like is kind of like if you crossed a black olive and a green olive, I think that's what they taste like.
You get some of the both worlds of both.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And they are really pretty, like purple color, and some of them are lighter and darker. And they're cute. I like them. And you can actually buy them in Springfield. So, yeah,
That's a good thing.
it is a good thing. Okay, so this is going to look kind of dry. Oh, well, crouton overboard. This is going to look kind of dry, but don't freak out about it. Let it sit at least 30 minutes, preferably overnight. Sorry, overnight.
Yeah.
Overnight. But if I got people coming, I'm serving it in 30 minutes.
How are you? We're going to need for you to come up here and taste. Okay? Yeah.
All right, so that's all mixed up. I even sometimes, hand me one of those plates, will you?
Yes.
I sometimes will even put a little plate on it, like a weight.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Yes.
so it helps it kind of absorb the juice, okay? Let this sit overnight or 30 minutes,
Yeah.
whatever, okay? Okay, on to our stuffed tomatoes. We're watching our marinara here. It's cooking down nicely.
Yes, it is.
So our stuffed tomatoes, we'll do 2 of them.
Boy, does that smell wonderful.
Take a tomato, cut the end off of it, just enough so it'll stand up. Okay, you don't want to go all the way through to the flesh.
Right.
Just enough so it'll stand up.
And this makes a nice little appetizer, right?
This is a lovely appetizer,
Or you could eat 3 of them
cup-
for dinner.
Yeah, or a cup of soup. It'll be a nice lunch.
Yeah,
Whatever.
okay, okay.
Okay. And now I'm going to take our knife and kind of just go around the stem. Okay. Yeah, tang way. And now you want to save the pulp from this because that's going to go in our stuffing. So whatever you're mixing up your stuffing in, throw it in the pan. Are you going to ride any rides, Terry?
No, I don't really like to ride rides.
Really?
No. I'm
Really?
scared. Number one, I'm scared to death of heights. You know?
Really?
Yeah.
I was at a water park the other day,
Yes.
and I remembered really liking to go down the water slides when I
Yes.
was little. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to try that. I haven't been to
Yeah.
water park in years. So I go, and I felt like I got in a car wreck. I was like, why was this a good time? Like, I didn't, yeah. So
When I
it's-
was in South America, I made the mistake of going on one of those zip line things.
was that fun?
Yeah, it's fabulous, but it's 600 feet up.
Back to the tomatoes. We're gonna hollow this out. Beat ginger with it. You don't want to bust the sides, okay?
Okay.
But get all the juice out and the seeds, okay? So it looks something like that.
And you save the little tops.
And you save the little tops. It's
Yep.
important, okay? All right. So for this stuffing, we're gonna take a couple cloves of garlic, smash them, chop them up. Okay, throw those in there. Then again, some of our Kalamata olives. If you don't like olives, leave them out. It's not a big deal. Okay. I just think they add a lot to it.
And you chop them up.
Yeah, I chop these up because you don't want like a big overwhelming bite of olive.
Uh-huh.
All right. Pop those in there. Okay. Then I got some grated Parmesan cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Please, as I said before, avoid the green can.
Yes.
Get some Parmesan, don't be lazy, grind it up, okay? Or if you don't like Parmesan, you can use like Romano cheese or Asiago, whatever,
Or
okay?
you can go like I do. I go to Angela's and buy myself a nice wedge of Parmesan there. Because if you go on Saturday mornings, then she usually has things out for you to taste.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's like Sam's of Little Italy.
Yes.
Okay. All right, got a little more rosemary. Also, something that's very nice in this, if you can get it, is herb de Provence.
Okay,
And
okay.
it's just like a mix of different like French herbs, but what I like about it is it has lavender in it, which is kind of different. It's really good in this, okay?
Okay.
So we got garlic, we got some tomatoes, we got some olives, and now we're gonna put a little of our dried breadcrumbs. Okay?
Okay.
These are also really good. It's kind of bad, but instead of baking them, you can deep fry them,
Oh my God.
and they're good.
Well, we are in Illinois.
Yeah, so, and we are at the state fair.
Yes.
So, I'm gonna put the rest of our Italian, okay? A little salt and pepper. Okay, and then I'm gonna kind of mush this up with my fingers.
Okay.
Okay, because I want to break up that pulp.
Yes.
And you want to stir this mixture together.
Uh-huh.
And same story as a panzanelli, you kind of want it to soak into the bread.
Okay.
So just let it sit there for a few minutes. It doesn't have to be overnight, just till the bread sort of softens. And we're gonna stuff the tomato with this.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay. So while we're waiting to do that, our marinara is about ready over here. So it's kind of cooked down. It started to get pretty thick. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if I like my marinara a little bit runny with like some big chunks of tomato in it, if you don't like that, all you have to do is buy a little can of tomato paste and plop a couple spoonfuls of tomato paste in there. That'll thicken it right up. Okay, over here, I have some cooked spaghetti squash.
Okay.
Okay, what I did is this is a spaghetti squash
Right.
that you can actually buy in town on
Yeah.
a regular basis.
Yeah.
So, it's next to the winter squash in the produce section. It's oblong and yellow, okay? And they're kind of hard to cut, okay? So what I do is I take a chef knife and I don't hold it in my hand. I put it on a cutting board. I kind of whack it with my chef knife like this.
And
I'll
then
show
you take the other one and pete it? Yeah.
Bam.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Then I take the other one and I wrap a towel around it so I don't cut myself, okay? And I just kind of whack my knife until it splits enough that I can bust it open. Oh, shoot stuff off the table.
Okay.
All right. See, you can already see right there how it strings like spaghetti. That's why they call it spaghetti squash.
Uh-huh.
I'm just gonna take the seeds out of this with a spoon, olive oil it, or Pam, whatever. Put it in the oven, 400 degrees, about an hour till it's golden. And it looks something like this.
Okay.
Okay? All right. So now, you take a fork, okay? And you just go through it like that and see how it looks like strings of spaghetti.
Okay.
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 And the cool thing about this is that you can actually serve it back in the squash bowl.
Oh, that's fabulous.
Okay? So I got another one here.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, and I mean, one big squash will serve like 2 or 3 people.
And this is kind of diety, isn't it? Because of the squash?
We don't use that word around here.
I know.
Yeah, it's good for you, I
It's
guess.
good
It's
for
good
you.
for you. Okay, good enough. Set those aside. Put this in our sauce. Terry, will you give that a stir for me?
I certainly would
that
love
up.
to.
Okay, if it's not stringing very well for you,
Yes.
then what you need to do is put a little bit more oil on it when it cooks.
Okay,
Because
okay.
if you don't have enough oil on it, it's kind of hard.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. Back to our tomatoes. Got our little hollowed out tomatoes. And this is real cute if you can get those heirloom tomatoes.
Uh-huh.
You can do like a little green one, a little yellow one, a little red one.
Yes.
You know, they're really cute and do different sizes. They're also good is when they're done, you can buy some pesto or make
Okay.
some pesto, thin it out with a little olive oil, kind of drizzle it over there like a sauce.
Okay.
It's really good.
Okay.
Okay, so it's very important to salt the inside of your tomato cavity. It's not very important. It's
Well-
kind of a preference. If you don't do it, it's not the end of the world. Okay? Take a couple of these croutons that have been soaking in our tomato pulp and everything. Stuff inside there. And you want to stuff these pretty full because they really cook down. Okay? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
You can oil the inside of the cavity too if you want like an olive oily type taste. Okay. You set that down there for me.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now we're going to take some fresh mozzarella. And again, you can use like cheddar out of your fridge if you want. I
Yeah.
don't care, but I just like this. But it is kind of expensive, so like buy it if it's on sale. You know, it's a good time to buy it. So I'm going to put a little piece of cheese on top of these. Okay?
Uh-huh.
And then you're going to put the little tops on. See how they're standing up because we cut the bottom off?
Yes.
Okay. And then I'm just going to put these on like a pie pan or even a plate or something, doesn't
Uh-huh.
matter. And then you're just going to pop them into an oven, 350, 400 around there, 20 minutes or so, just till the cheese is melted and it's hot all the way through.
Okay.
We don't really
okay.
need to worry about it getting done because
Right.
there's nothing raw in it.
Uh-huh.
We just want it to be hot. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
That's lovely.
So, those are nice. Let's get rid of our cutting board here. Okay. Now, I think everything should be done.
Yes.
Hand me this plate here. Plate up our spaghetti squash. Here's a spaghetti squash that has been done. And we just took the shell, okay? We poured this into the shell, the spaghetti squash and the marinara, and we put a little rosemary and a little Parmesan over it, okay? So there's the spaghetti squash. Then over here, our lovely foil wrapping, we have some of our panzanella, okay? And like I said, if you let this sit overnight, the croutons will break down even more and it'll look a lot more tomatoey, okay? And that's good like a week later.
Yeah.
That's good. All right. Then, here are our lovely stuffed tomatoes. How freaking cute are they?
That's very cute.
I love those with their little tops on them and a little melted cheese. So Terry's gonna taste our stuff now.
Yes. I think I should start with the spaghetti squash.
Okay.
This
I'm gonna
looks-
have a little. I'm gonna have a little tomato.
Oh, that's so wonderfully fresh tasting.
That's what I love about tomatoes. Like they taste like summer. You know, it's one of
Uh-huh.
those things. Like sweet corn tastes like summer.
Just fabulous.
Are you a fan?
Oh my God. I love this. These are so pretty.
Yeah, they're very pretty.
Mmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Mmm.
Well, that's our tomato show.
I love the squash. I
Good.
love that.
You know, you really can't tell the difference between that and spaghetti.
No, it's wonderful.
All right.
Makes you want to run out next year and plant more tomato plants.
But not 80.
But not 80.
All right. Well, thanks a lot. Have fun with food.
We're having a great time here at the Illinois State Fair. Don't forget to come by the restaurant sometime, to Caitie Girls Restaurant, to say hello to Caitie. And
have a drink with Terry.
have a drink or something, and we're just doing all kinds of stuff, aren't we?
Oh, yeah. We're here.
We're here. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.